We are officially kicking off our June mentorship program, and I know that I'm not all of your personally sponsored coaches. I know that you might have another sponsor that is within our organization, but the one cool thing about the way that we work here as a team is we share the responsibilities. So you won't hear from me every single Monday at noon. You're actually going to hear from a couple of different leaders in our organization throughout the month. But we have a very specific agenda that we follow so that we're really helping you get through the first 30 days of really launching your business. And so I'm excited. I'm excited that you guys showed up today. And I know that there's going to be a group of you listening to the replay. And what we're going to do today is we are going to talk a little more tactical. And if you had the chance to be live or listen to the replay of the new Coach Kickoff call, I talked a lot about goal setting, vision, identifying what some of your limiting beliefs may be to your success. And so today I want to focus a little more on the tactical side of it. What do we have to actually do in order to make our business grow and produce some income, really make an impact in other people's lives? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So before we dive into that, just a couple of quick things that I want to share with you guys. Did everybody find the business activity tracker, or we call it the Success Club tracker? Does everybody have that? Yes? Good? Okay. If you don't know where that's located, it is in a couple of different places. It's in the Coach Online Office. You can find it under the training tab. It's also in all of our training groups that we run. Every single one of us has that there that you can download and check that out. And then today I'm going to actually pull it up and show my computer screen so you'll be able to see that tracker. But one of the things I suggest that you do, and actually a couple of coaches have done this, and I thought it was a really super stellar idea, is they actually laminated it. They took it to, Staples or, whatever, Office Depot, and laminated a copy, and then they just use a dry erase marker, and every week they would just wipe it off and reuse it again. I was like, well, that's a genius idea. And then you could 3-hole punch it and put it in a binder, because that business activity tracker, that success tracker, it's really the best way to track your activities that are going to help you grow your business, right? It's just a really good, well-rounded look at what we do as coaches. And I love that we created that. The team of coaches created that with corporate. And we talked about what were the most important activities and how frequently and how often should we do certain activities. And so that is a tool that was created by coaches for coaches. So it is the most up-to-date. This is what you should do if you want to be successful as a Beachbody coach. So make sure you've got that tracker. And that's going to be my roadmap for our call today, because I find that it's so easy to say, just fill out your tracker and you'll be successful. But when you read the activities in that tracker, how many of you have gone, well, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, or I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to be doing there. So we're going to go through that today. But please ask me questions, and you can type those questions right in the chat bar so that I'm answering questions specific to what you need for your business. All right. So first and foremost, we are at week one. Week one, day one. How many of you are coaches, but you also are starting your journey right now with your physical transformation? How many of you are sort of like, I'm working on weight loss goals or health goals right now too? Okay, so that adds another level of a beast. So let me just address this, because when I started coaching, I only was about 10 pounds into my ultimate journey, right? So I wanted to lose 30 pounds. So I was 10 pounds down. I did complete a program. So I had done 60 days of insanity. I was 30 days into following a nutrition plan. When I signed up to become a coach was the first time I had ever drank Shakeology. So I got my first bag of Shakeology about a week into coaching, because you sign up and then 7 to 10 days later you actually get your Shakeology. And so I was very much my number one focus was still my own physical transformation. And so if that's where you're at right now, and you're saying to yourself, I'm overwhelmed by this whole process. If I could tell you the number one thing you should focus on is your physical transformation, your nutrition, because confident coaches come from people that go through the process of participating in a challenge group, doing the meal plan and prep every week, doing the grocery shopping, learning how to read nutrition labels, have established a routine when it comes to workouts, and are getting results. Because as I was the guinea pig, right? I used myself as the guinea pig, but as I was addressing all of these things like the late night snacking and emotional eating, and as I was creating my own strategies for overcoming those things, I was able to use that as content to teach other people. So everything, your success in your business comes from your own physical journey. And even if you don't have weight to lose, and maybe you're here and you just have an overall health goal and you just want to live a healthier life, still commit to doing a fitness program from start to finish. So make sure that at the basic level, if you aren't plugged into a challenge group, that's number one. Right? So even just so that you know, okay, this is what a challenge group is, and then participate in the challenge group. So you know what it feels like to be a part of a community. Because for me, my confidence in inviting people to join me came sheerly out of the experience part of it, because I was walking proof. I was a walking billboard. Anybody that would listen, I would shout from the rooftops how amazing the support and the accountability and the nutrition was. So that belief, that's not something you can get unless you have that personal experience yourself. All right. So challenge group, make sure you're plugged in, make sure you pick a fitness program. What's your start date for your workout? And then the next thing is I don't know how to, the best way that I can explain it is make your journey, make your transformation, your everyday, make your social media your journal, your live journal. And I'll make it I like to call it a reality TV show. And you may think, who the heck's going to want to tune into my show every day? Who am I? I'm just some woman that lives in Western Pennsylvania, documenting my journey. But you're going to be shocked at how many people that know you are going to be motivated to make a change because they're watching this process. And so what helped me in the beginning was I was committed. I was like, my body's my business. If I don't show women that you can lose weight from at-home workouts, they're never going to sign up with me, right? They're going to keep giving me that I have to go to the gym to get results, or I have to have a personal trainer, I have to have a nutritionist. I need to show them that this works, and I will build trust over time. And so that was the way I approached it. And so every week when I did my meal planning, I would take pictures of it. And I was very, very disciplined to take pictures every single week of myself. As uncomfortable as that was, it was like day 1 to day 7, day 1, day 7, day 14. And that also motivated me to not eat the Oreos in the pantry at 9 o'clock at night. Cause I'm like, I have to have a physical transformation so I can show people that this works on Sunday, when I do my progress update. So it was like internal accountability because I really wanted to make this business opportunity work. And I also wanted to show women that it was possible too. So that's why we always say, that's why on your tracking sheet is nutrition, your Shakeology, your workout, is because if you don't have those 3 things, starting out, it's really hard to confidently to tell somebody you got to buy a challenge pack to be in my challenge group because you don't understand the significance of it. Does that resonate and ring true? And even with Shakeology at the beginning, I was like, I don't even know what's in Shakeology. I'm just drinking it because my coach told me I had to. So I had to create my own Shakeology story. So that meant I drank it every day. I figured out my favorite recipes. I shared that on social media. I made sure that I didn't miss a day. And then I just read a lot about Shakeology. And I learned why it's good for me and, why it's not a diet shake, why it's not a weight loss shake, what actually is it. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos, but I watched a lot of the training videos that Beachbody provided. So your job is to just really begin to understand how the products work for us all. All right. So really super important. That is super key at the foundation of what we do. Now, in the first 30 days, I like to say we're just getting our bearings, right? So if you feel overwhelmed, if you said to yourself, did I bite off more than I can chew? Like, can I really do this coaching thing in addition to my full-time job or in addition to raising kids or whatever else you guys do? Absolutely, you totally can. And the reason I say that is the most successful coaches in the entire company are ones that are ridiculously busy. Like, we've built our businesses while raising kids or working full-time or going to grad school, working full-time and having babies in the midst of that. So it's actually about managing your time. That determines your level of success. So keep that in mind too. So it doesn't matter how busy you are, you can do it, but it's like taking these small baby steps that are going to compound over time. So here we are, Monday morning. The most important step next for us is to announce that we're actually doing a business. So that if you haven't done that yet, I want everybody to make what I call their launch post today or in the next 12 hours. That is your job. And so you're not allowed to wuss out on me. You're going to have to Mel Robbins this. You're going to have to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, post it, go. Do not overthink it. It doesn't need to be perfect. I need you to get it out there. All right. Because we can't really open our doors for business and say, hey, I have something for you to join if we don't tell people why we're starting this business. So for all of you, everybody's going to be different, and different is good. Your launch post doesn't have to look like Shannon's or Tracy's or Amy's or Lisa's, right? So keep that in mind. But ask yourself, here's your writing prompt, right? Why did I become a coach? Why did you become a coach? That's number one. Okay. And then your second part of that writing prompt is going to be, so why do I feel like Beachbody is the company that's going to help me achieve my goals in life? Okay. So that's kind of your second part of the puzzle. Then your third piece of the puzzle is your call to action. And your call to action can be a couple of things. If you're saying like, why did I join Beachbody? I became a Beachbody coach because, and maybe yours is, I've done 2 rounds of the programs that the company offers. I've lost 10 pounds in 30 days. I have more energy than I've ever had before. I needed a community to keep me accountable. And I'm still on my fitness journey, but I feel like women my age, whatever, and be specific, need this, right? I feel like I can really help people. So I became a coach. Beachbody, and then you can say like, I really want to teach women how to do X, Y, and Z. And so all of that's going to be different based on your personality, based on your age, based on the workouts you like, based on your lifestyle. And then you can say to people, okay, do I want them to like my page? Do I want them to subscribe? Do I want them to fill out an application? Do I want them to come back and follow me? Like, tell people what you want them to do. That's really key, because otherwise it becomes a good for you. I'm real glad you started this business opportunity. So maybe, let me just give you a couple of calls to action. Maybe it is like, hey, make sure you favorite my page, or make sure you turn the notifications on for my personal Facebook account or my Instagram account, because every day I am going to document my journey. Every day I'm going to share what I'm eating, my mindset, how my motivation, how I'm making good food choices. I'm going to share recipes. Like, tell people the kind of content that you're going to provide on whatever platform, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. Okay. So you're going to tell people where they can, so you're going to tell them, make sure you come back, because every day I'm going to be providing X, Y, and Z. So I try to not make the very first like launch post I do about like a join my challenge group post, because I just want to get the idea out there first, right? So it's much more of a, hey, this is what I'm doing. Here's how you can follow along with me. And maybe you do say like, hey, if you want to know more about how you can get involved in what I'm doing, you can send me a direct message, email me here, whatever you want people to do. But you got to tell them, don't take it for granted that people will know what to do. Now, write that post out. It doesn't need to be long, super long, but it needs to be specific. So if you say to yourself, I've struggled my whole life with my weight, Describe that. What does that mean? Did you yo-yo diet? Did you have an eating disorder? Did you, did you have unhealthy habits? Like if you've struggled your whole life, what did that mean? Explain that. If you say Beachbody was finally the solution, tell me why it was the solution. So just make sure you've got some detail in your post so that it actually relates to people. Is that clear? All right, and so you're gonna get that up there. The last thing is just your image. So your image should not be a quote that you found online. Your image needs to be you. I really would like it to be your face of some sort, okay? But it also needs to be a good image. So if I'm looking at you guys right now, if you look at the screen, if you put it in gallery view, you can see all the little squares. So Jolie has really great lighting right now. She could take a screenshot of her face and that would be a great post. And there's nothing against you, Lisa or Shannon, but Lisa and Shannon, you guys have a fog over your screen right now and you look dark and you look grainy. So Kelly, you've got really good clarity on your screen right now. Tracy, you've got a clear photo, right? So this is what, and then I'm looking at the angle. So Lisa, your screen is down below, so I'm getting your chin. Now it doesn't look bad, but I wouldn't take a picture from this angle, right? So those are the things you're gonna pay attention to, my angle and my clarity. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my phone, because I take all my pictures with my phone, and I'm gonna take my hand, because I got a shirt on and it's cotton, and I'm just gonna clean off my camera, right? That's like step number one. We're gonna clean our camera so it doesn't look grainy or dark. Number two, we're gonna go to the light, okay? So if you're inside and you don't have a lot of windows in your house and maybe it's dark, do not take a picture where you're at. Like Shannon, I wouldn't take that picture in that spot where you're at, because I also see that overhead light and it's just kind of washing you out, right? So I just walk outside. And this is what I always did before I bought myself a tripod on Amazon. I would take my water cup, and I know you can't see this, but I would like prop my phone up on my water cup, and then on your camera, you have a 10-second timer, and I would take a photo, okay? So maybe or now my kids are a little older, they're 8 and 10, and my 10-year-old like can take a good photo. So I'll be like, Landon, can you take this picture for me? And so he's done that before too, okay? So you're gonna wanna get a photo that kind of depicts your excitement about something you're starting, okay? So it could be that you sort of have your like nutrition plan laid out on the counter. Maybe you've printed some of the materials off Beachbody On Demand and it's sitting on your counter, or maybe you're sitting on your front porch and you're gonna just like write. You look like you're writing and you set up the camera to take your photo, right? And so then I get whatever picture it is that I wanna take. I don't over obsess about it. I just make sure it's somewhat feels good to me, and then I post it. So those are just some real simple lighting things for you. And I do, like, this is my honest opinion, like I do try to take it kind of from this angle down. Make sure the light is coming at you. So right now my window is just like right on the other side of my computer. So I'm getting that light coming in. If the light was behind me, I would look really dark. All right, so it would look really dark. So I just pay attention to that stuff. And then the last piece of advice I'll give you is I installed an app on my phone. It's called Lightroom, and Lightroom allows me to change my lighting. So I can just take my photo into that Lightroom app and I can just move the slider over for light, dark. I can kind of change my colors. So if something's off on your coloring, it's just a photo editing app. And we'll talk more about how to use those apps as we go, but this gets you started. There are a lot of times that I mean, my photos are all on my camera for the most part, all on my iPhone. And I did upgrade my phone, so I have the iPhone 10 whatever XR, I don't even know what it is, but it's the most up-to-date one because it has a good camera. It has a good like forward-facing camera. So that was a business investment that I did make at the beginning because our business is very visual. A lot of it is social media. And I use pictures in my challenge groups. I use them in my emails that I send out. I use it for my content. So that's a good business write-off if you don't have a good phone to use for photos. All right. So that's an investment for you guys. So don't overthink it. All right. but I do want you to get that post out there. And then it's kind of like, okay, I've told people why I'm excited about this. Now they can watch me. And so now we're going to kind of jump into the next part, and I'm going to actually share my screen here and walk you through this tracker. But before I do that, our goal for this month, our goal is 3 people to sign up, right, with the challenge pack. 3 customers that sign up, that will pay for your initial investment. It will also probably give you some additional commissions. If you get more than 3 people, that's awesome. You don't have to stop at 3, because everything sort of after that is money in your pocket. But those 3 people, they're going to go into the same challenge group you're in or that you're inviting to, and it's going to be like your little pod of people that you're working together with. So, the next step is, do I know what challenge group I'm inviting to? So for my personally sponsored coaches that are on this call right now, if you're not mine, just ask your coach, but I'm running that summer group, and it's like, oh gosh, I just totally forgot, like summer, like living your best life. I've already talked about it. It's summer, sunshine, and living your best life. It starts our prep next Monday, the 10th, and then we actually start our workouts the following week, so the 17th. So this whole week, and then half of next week, your job is just talk to people. So I would say, the easiest thing to do is your social media. We're going to work on that. That's going to be going in the background. But truly make a list of people that you know. So my first few customers were friends of mine, were family members, my sister-in-law's friend, because she invited somebody. So what I went over on that kickoff call last week, how I talked about sending those messages. If you haven't done that yet, that's going to be your next order of business, is actually starting to connect and just talk to people and just get 3 people, because your first 3 customers, in the back of your mind, you're going, these are my accountability partners, right? These are going to be people I'm going to text, or I'm going to have a message thread, and we're going to keep each other on track. They're also going to be my first testimonials. And if I can help 3 people get results, then I have 3 people to say, like, look, what I'm doing isn't just working for me, but it's working for other people as well. And hopefully in the end of 30 days, those people will let you talk about them, and talk about their results. Maybe they're not comfortable sharing pictures, but at least they'll let you talk about it. And so now you've got some credibility in your back pocket. So in the next 30 days, that's the focus. The focus is 3 people. And truthfully, because our challenge group starts on the 17th with day 1 of workouts, we should have that out of the way in the next 5 to 7 days. So that's quick, that's easy. And it should be warm market. It should be people you kind of already know or have talked about fitness or nutrition or weight loss before. So make a list of those people and then reach out to them. Use what I shared on the kickoff call last Wednesday as your script to go from. All right. Okay. Now let's go to the business activity tracker, or I keep calling it business activity tracker, and it's the success tracker. And I call it that just because that's what it used to be called back in the day. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here. And let's walk you through what this looks like. All right. Okay, so every week, right, you always want to write down your why, at the top. So your why can evolve and change, but if you're restate your purpose, that why you became a coach, just write that. And I always read that every morning, because there are going to be days where you're like, I'm just getting people that are telling me no or giving me objections, right? So I always write that in there. Like, why am I a coach? Is it because I want to feel my most confident and best self? Is it because I want to earn an extra $500, whatever it is? And then your target market, that's actually key, because I remember when I started coaching, I was like, oh, I can help women that have just had babies, because that's where I'm at in life. Oh, and then I can help those girls that are getting ready to go on spring break get bikini ready. And then, oh, I can help my mom's friends, who are older, and I can help them because, my mom is my mom and I can help her friends. But I was kind of casting this wide net. And I got met with a lot of rejection at the beginning, because I was trying to speak to everybody. And the moment I said, well, what's my ideal client? My ideal client is me. It's somebody that works a full-time job, that has 2 kids that are, elementary school age. We're busy with sports. We're running businesses. And so it's got to be quick, efficient, I need to be timely. It's people that care about their health. It's people in their, mid 30s all the way to their 50s, right? So I got really specific with my ideal person. So you don't hear me talking about bikini boot camps or sweating for the dress groups, which I may see other people doing, but that's not my ideal market. So make sure you're always saying, like, when I'm posting, when I'm inviting, when I'm thinking about challenge group themes, I got to make sure I'm always in line with that target market. So that's why writing that there is key. Okay, so we talked about being proof that the product works. That's your category number 2. I'm just going to make this super big so you guys can see it. So every day, work out, drink your Shakeology. And I wish they put in there, follow your nutrition plan, because that is just as important as doing the workout is. So make sure you follow your calendar. So print off your calendar, hang it on the wall, be committed to that. Now, this number 2, this section number 2, I like to call this my IPA section, my income producing activity section. And so if you said, all right, Melanie, outside of doing my workout and drinking my shake, if I had to focus on one thing, what would it be? It would be this section. And so you don't have to do it all at one time. Maybe you say to yourself, I have 20 minutes while I'm waiting for my girls to get out of dance class. And so I'm going to do this block, from 4 to 4:20 in the afternoon. And you know what? I sit in the carpool line for 10 minutes waiting for my kids to get out of school from 3 to 3:10. So I can make my social media post during that time. So you look at your calendar and your schedule and you say, am I going to do it all at one time, or am I going to chunk it throughout the day? All right. So it's doable. It's customizable to your life. But I love that they put a time limit, because it kind of helps you say, this is how much time it should take me. So when I look at initiate connections and add followers, let's talk about what that actually means. So if you build your business on Instagram or Facebook, pick your primary. Everybody has one that's going to be their focus, okay? If it's going to be Facebook, this is what it looks like. I need to add followers. So I am going to, or add friends is what I say. So when I think about that, I go over to my Facebook. This is what I did back in the day. I would go to my homepage, and then I love this little search bar because now I can search. So I would say, okay, so I was part of like a MOPS group, right? MOPS International, MOPS of Pittsburgh. Let me see. I wonder if the Northway one. This is the one that I was a part of. I'm just going to share this. Northway MOPS. Okay. I don't know if it's still around, but I'm going to go there, right? Oh, Northway MOPS. There we go. So is this a page or is it a group? I start thinking, so what I'm doing is I'm thinking of interests of my own. Nope, that's not what I wanted. That took me outside. So I'm thinking of people that I could connect with. So Northway Kids, Northway Christian Community. Well, I do go to that church. So here is that church's page. So I kind of go down a rabbit hole, but I do it pretty fast. So now I say to myself, who are the people that like Northway's page? Because they would be my people, right? So now I could go down through and I could click on the post, and I can now go through all the people that are on this page. And I could say, Megan, do I know Megan? What? And I look at her and I go, would I want to be friends with Megan? She's a campus director. She looks like she's normal. This is what goes through my mind. She looks normal. I'd want to connect with her, and I literally add her as a friend. Then I would go down through Tammy. I would say, oh, Tammy looks normal. Add her as a friend. And I would probably do 5 or 10 of these. Okay. So then I would do it quickly. Then I would say to myself, all right, if I don't have that interest group, here's another thing that I do. I go to my husband's or my mom or my sister or my best friend, and I go to their friends. And then what I do is I go through their friends, and I go through like Matt's, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I so forgot about the girl we went to college with, friend request. I forgot about that girl. She lives in our neighborhood, friend request. So now what am I doing? I'm just initiating and adding followers. I'm not doing anything other than adding followers. If I friend request somebody and they accept it, and it's like a friend of mine from high school, and I'm looking at her Facebook feed and I'm like, holy cow, she looks amazing. I'm going to send her a message. Hey, Sarah, you popped up as a suggested friend. I sent you a friend request. I started looking at your page. I haven't seen you in 10 years. You look amazing. Your kids are adorable. How have you been? That would be an initiating a connection with somebody. All right. Now, here's the key. This can send us down a rabbit hole for hours. So what we're going to do is we're going to set a timer for 20 minutes. And we are going to try to do as many of these in 20 minutes as we can. And then you're going to track it. So if you say to yourself, okay, I added this many new followers, you can do this on Facebook or Instagram. And you're just going to maybe write in like, I did 10. I added 10 new friends. Or, I talked to 5 new people. However you want to write that in there. So that's something I do every single day, every day. Then the second thing is social media post. So for me personally, I actually, I kind of think of this stuff ahead of time. I don't wing it. I don't try to think of it in the moment. I will sit down and I'll make a list. And the best part about where you're at right now is you can talk about it all, right? So the sky is the limit. I'm like trying to repurpose things and come up with new things I haven't talked about before. But you guys, like, you're in the best spot ever. So you've got your launch post. That's your post for today. Then tomorrow you could talk about your meal prep. You can talk about your morning routine. You can talk about your workouts. You can talk about modifications. You can talk about week 1. You can share recipes. And so you can talk about your family in the last day of summer. So social media posts 1 a day, and you can keep a note section on your phone of posts that you can kind of write out. You can put them on a Google Doc. You can, however you want to organize it. But I just make a list of things people ask me or things I'm learning. And I want, when people come to my page, I want them to be inspired. I want to teach them something. I want to give them a call to action. I want them to leave either motivated, inspired. I want to teach them, and I want to call them to action. So I want to have a mindset of, I'm going to give you information. So I'm going to show you how I meal plan. I'm going to, give you my progress update on my workouts. I'm going to share a recipe with you. I'm going to share something about motivation and how I get up in the morning. So I'm just giving you content that you could actually take and you could use. Then I'm going to come in with a challenge group invite post. So that's the way that I'm going to do it. So today and tomorrow, you're going to have 2 posts, and then you're going to actually make a post about your challenge group, inviting people to join you. So that would be your next one. Then we have this Instagram or Facebook stories. So if you're using Facebook, you can use Facebook stories. If you're on Instagram, you can use Instagram stories. If you are on Instagram, you can share it to both places. I highly suggest doing that. You don't need to make 2 separate ones, but stories are awesome. They're awesome. How many of you actually find yourself sucked into people's Instagram stories and you're just watching them, right? So yes, so Instagram stories allows us to get to know each other better. This is like, what do you do in your free time? This is not the styled photo where I've got to make sure the angle is right and the lighting is good. This is where you're like, this is me in the kitchen. Here's my red container. I shove my ground turkey in there. Here's my lettuce wraps. Here are my black beans. They're all in the containers. I put it on my plate. This is my food. Look, I'm not starving myself. This makes me feel amazing. And then I track it on the sheet. This is what I do. If you want to join me, guys, send me a message. That's an Instagram story post or Facebook story post. So it's really you talking about, right, healthy meal prep for the day. Then my workout clips. I always do workout clips because that people look forward to that. When they see me working out, it does inspire people. And I've done it for 8 years. Before stories were around, I'd make videos that would actually go on my Facebook feed. And so the workout clips are just good, like 2. I try to just do 2 per workout, 3 max. And again, I do exactly what I told you. I prop my phone up and I record it. And then I just add them to my stories. Daily life. This is your life. What do you do during the day? Do you have a favorite book? Are you shopping? Are you grocery shopping? Are you picking up the kids from school? Are you making healthy snacks with them? Are you at the field watching a baseball game or a soccer tournament? What's your evening routine like? How do you lay out your clothes before you go to bed at night so you know what your workout clothes, do you walk people through your life? So this for me is like as life goes. And the one piece of advice I will give you is this: you do not have to be on social media 24/7. There are a lot of times that I will take a picture and post it 6 hours later, or I will even like Insta story stuff and I just click that down arrow and save it, and then I post it like 6 hours later. So a lot of times I may snap a picture of my lunch when I'm out to lunch, and then I'll post it after we finish the lunch conversation. So just know that, like, this does not have to be a connected at all times kind of a thing. All right, so products, you'll see me talk about my Energize in the mornings. You'll see me stirring it up. I don't usually say Energize, but I'm like, it's time to go work out. But it's kind of curiosity marketing. So people are like, what is that stuff that you're drinking in the morning? And I can sell somebody an Energize, right? I'll talk about Shakeology, my superfood. So when I go to make lunch today, you'll see that on my stories. And then I do the invitation. So polls are awesome. So when you are making a story and you kind of swipe your finger up, all these like things come up. There's poll options, and you can do a quiz, but I use that poll a lot. So I may be talking about my workout and maybe doing workout clips, and then I'll say like, hey, are you curious about what workout I'm doing? Are you interested in joining me in a virtual accountability group? Yes, and give me more information. And when people vote, then I can send them messages. All right, so I do use that call to action, that poll often. I would say about 85% of my people that sign up with me come from my stories, actually, as crazy as that sounds. And it's because I'm purposeful with what I'm putting out there. And then you can use this recognition and shout out. This can be yourself at first. This could be your very first customer that's going to do a challenge group with you. Maybe you have a non-scale victory and you were like, I lost 5 pounds in my first week of not starving myself, of eating healthy, of working out, and I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. So maybe you shout yourself out for your results so far. So recognition and shout outs can go in there. Okay, the next thing is respond to all new likes, comments, or views. So the biggest mistake I see other people make is that they create content. They create a Facebook or an Instagram post or a story, and then they get comments underneath and they don't respond back to those comments because they just sent them a private message, right? So like Julie, you comment under my post and you're like, oh my gosh, that looks like such an awesome workout. Tell me about it. And so I am like, awesome. I send you a private message. But I should have gone back and I should have said, absolutely, Julie, I'll send you a message. Let me know if you got it. It should be in your inbox right now. So now I've commented, and that did a couple of things. That showed Facebook that gave me like a brownie point in the engagement area. It also pushed that post back up to the feed again, because we all know that our content gets seen based on how many likes and comments are happening. So we always want to create engagement underneath of our own things. Even if it's your mom or your sister or your husband commenting on your stuff, comment back, as many times as you can keep that conversation going. So every day I pick one time a day. So I actually did it this morning. I sat down and I went through everything for the past 24 hours and I just commented on everything that I needed to comment on. And so I do that once a day. Check, done. All right, invite at least 5 people to join your challenge group. Oh, well, this is the part everybody doesn't do. All right, so this is the part that makes everyone super uncomfortable, and I watch it. You just watch it. You're going to hesitate on this invite process, especially if this is new to you. Do this first, like eat your frog, and send 5 messages to people. Don't send like a spammy, cold, long message, but just use what I gave on that kickoff call last week and invite people to your challenge group. You know what you're inviting to. Sign them up with the same program that you signed up with or one of the other ones you're familiar with, but make sure it's a challenge pack. All right, that's what you're leading with. That's the best value. Oh, and it's $20 off this month. Every single challenge pack is $20 off. So that's a really good deal. That's major leverage. So every day you're inviting minimum of 5. If you want to invite more because you want to grow faster, then invite more. Okay. And then I always follow up with everybody I've invited. So if I invite 5 today, tomorrow evening, I will circle back around with anybody I didn't hear from and just send them a follow-up message. So now these are the most important things that we need to say that we've accomplished within the day. And this is how you do it. So before I move on, there are some questions. So let me just grab this chat bar and answer these questions. Okay. Okay. So I noticed a lot of people watching my stories. So Shannon, that's good. How many times a day would you recommend posting? So if it is on your Facebook or Instagram feed, 1, definitely every day, consistent, maybe 2. This is what you want to say to yourself. What can I personally commit to that I know I can be consistent with? If you say to yourself, I can post 5 times a day and I can commit to that 7 days a week, then you go for it. All right. But if you say to yourself, I can only do 1 a day, then it's 1 post a day and it has a purpose behind it. So mine is like 2. I usually do about 2 posts a day, 1, usually 2. So it's all based on yourself and it's consistency. Can I maintain this consistency? And then if you're looking at your stories, Facebook and Instagram stories, your sweet spot, 7 to 10, 7 to 10. All right. So, and then the worst thing you can do for your business is post on one day and then go a day without posting and then post the next day. Like that inconsistency, it makes people go, I don't really want to sign up with her. She's not really consistent. You know, shows up sometimes. I know she's always starting over on day 1 again, right? So you want to show people consistent progress. All right. And so that consistency can be whatever you want it to be. And so you don't ever want to compare yourself to somebody else. You always want to look at yourself and say, what can I commit to? So like Victoria's like, I post twice a day. That's perfect. If that's what you can commit to and you feel like it's quality, like the quality should be there, that's great. Okay. Julie, when posting your journey on social media, should we post about the products? I'm finding when inviting to those challenge groups, I get some interested, but when I share the information on the challenge pack, I get a hard no. So for me, when I'm talking about posting my journey, I'm not going to say 21-day fix. I'm not going to say Shakeology. I am going to say like I'm doing a 21-day program that is focused on portion control and clean eating, right? Over the last 21 days, these have been my results. Here's my before and after, or here's my progress update photo. If you want more information about what I'm doing, blah, 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 give that call to action. Then if somebody's going to say, I'm interested, and here is where you're getting the pushback. And it's normal because most people they're curious. They aren't necessarily ready to pull the trigger yet. So, I find that people will say, I'm in, tell me what to do. I need to make a change. I'm sick of feeling the way that I do. And I'm like, well, this is the program, right? This is what I do. This is how I can support you. You need this challenge pack, and you can be in my group and I'll mentor you. And then all of a sudden they go quiet. It's because they didn't really want to pay for it. They were just kind of curious. They weren't really ready to make a commitment yet, but they're still going to watch you. So follow up. And if they say no, please don't be afraid to ask them why. So you want to get curious with people because you want to know what it is that's holding them back. And so if somebody says like, I can't afford it right now, or I don't know, what are some of the things you get? Like, I don't want to drink a shake, or I don't want to work out from home, or I don't have the time. And I always say, I totally get it. I didn't have, the money to invest either, but I had literally tried everything. I had literally done, every gym membership, every class pass, every yoga studio, and I wasted so much money. And I saw all these people having great success with Beachbody. So I put it on my credit card. I gave it a try and I thought, what do I have to lose? I'm going to give it 30 days. And holy cow, I committed and I got results. And I started to cut my corners. So I knew that if I just, cut out some of the fluff in my budget, I could afford it. So I stopped eating out as often. I stopped going on the Starbucks runs. And so then I will say to people like, look, maybe you need a couple of weeks to save up for it. That's totally fine. I can follow up with you when I run my next group. And then ask them, would it be okay if I just message you next month when my next group happens? But I always tell people how I made it possible for myself. So I think about that objection. I either tell a story of myself or somebody else, and then I ask them if I can follow up with them next month. So that's how you take a hard no and you lean into it, right? So you kind of want to just ask a few questions, ask them if they can go on your list for next month, and then keep doing your thing. Don't let it take the wind out of your sails, because just because they said no, they're still watching your stories. They're still super curious, and they will come back around. All right. So keep that in mind, Julie. That should help you on that front. So, and stories, when you say you struggle with them, you struggle with just like what to post, or it feels uncomfortable. I think that part of it, like what to post and being uncomfortable, is normal, but it's like a practice thing. The more you practice, you'll actually get better with that. Okay. So I don't drink. Okay. Yeah. I don't get shake. I meant to say, how do you handle the nose? But you already answered that perfectly. Good, good, good. Okay. I don't drink shakes. Oh yeah. Julie, I was like the non-shake drinker too. So I was like, you know what? I didn't drink a shake either when I first started, but I was like, I'm skipping meals. I'm eating off my kids' plates. I'm eating their leftover chicken nuggets. I'm skipping my meals because I'm running behind. And then I was overeating. So I would take that and I would make that a story. I would make that a post, and I would say, I'm not a shake drinker. And then I would say, but I was ... Like I would go through and say all the bad habits that I had before and how Shakeology sort of stepped in and was that saving grace for me. And sometimes it's just, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Or I can't afford it. Well, it's only $4 a day. And when I think about how much I was eating out, so I turn a lot of that into content. So take your objections. You can talk about them through private message, but then address it in public, in a post. And that also kind of hits everybody that's watching you at that same time. All right. I would like to start a business page for Facebook and Instagram. Amy, I wasn't going to cover that today, but here's the thing. Starting run your business off of, so if you currently right now just have a personal Instagram and a personal Facebook, right? Run it off of there. Because if you start, like you can just change your Instagram to a business page by making a slider, like it's just in your settings, it just change it to business. But if you say to yourself, I do not want to post about this on my personal page at all. I want my personal page to just be my family and my kids. And if you want to create a business page, then it's strategy. So you're going to say, I'm going to create a separate Instagram account, but now I need to toggle between the two, and I've got to create content on that page. And then I have to take my current people and tell them to come over here and follow my fitness journey. So if you're going to make a separate page, you have to say to yourself, well, I'm committed to growing that page and directing people over there. So you can do that. I don't highly suggest it unless you're like I don't want this on my page, but your business is your life. Like I really look at what I do and I'm like, well, health and fitness is very much part of who I am. I post about it on my personal page, even if I wasn't my business. All right. So that, Amy, I would reach out, to your sponsor and have that discussion. And then I can even pass that on to the girls when they're doing content in the following weeks to kind of talk a little bit more about that. But that'd be a personal conversation for sure on how to do that. But there is just a little more strategy in there too. Okay. How often should we go live on stories? So I go live about my goal is 4 times a week, but I've also been doing this for a long time. So if you are like super freaked out about live video because you've never done anything like this before, and if I rewind to when I started, I would have definitely been having a panic attack about this point in time. So once a week would be great. Under 5 minutes, pick a topic. I just did one about grocery, like meal planning in my kitchen this morning. So you could do like something you read about personal development, or something you found at the grocery store, or something you're learning in your challenge group. So once a week would be great. Yeah, it's good for engagement. It definitely is. People like to see you live and you can kind of interact with people. So that's always fun too. So you could definitely do that. Okay, let's see. Is it cool to post personal family stuff on Facebook with my business as well? Yes, it absolutely is. So the reason it's good is, and you want to be, so let me give you sort of an overview of my business mindset. My Instagram is very much styled. All right. So my Instagram, if I say to myself, okay, we're going on a family vacation, or let me use the Greece trip that we were on. I didn't post every single picture of our vacation on my Instagram. I picked one picture and I told the story. When we go on family vacations, I pick one photo for the day and I tell a story about that photo on Instagram. On my Facebook page, I can post the whole photo album because it's my family vacation. And on Facebook, it's a little different. All right. So you just have to look at what platform you're on. And you can say on Facebook, I can post a lot more pictures than on Instagram. I need to pick like the best one that looks good, that's visually appealing. On Instagram, it sort of needs to follow your theme. So it's sort of is like, I don't post every dog photo, pick the best dog photo and tell a story about loyalty with dogs, you know? So you know what I mean? So do you get sort of how that works? So that's the difference between the two. So you kind of use them, you use the platform differently. And I'll tell you, I didn't know any of this as a new Beachbody coach. I just learned through trial and error. I learned through practice. So just put yourself out there and you will learn. Like, you will learn really fast what works and what doesn't work, what people engage with. So, you know, post it. If you love it, if it's something that resonates with you, share it. And you'll find really fast who your audience is and what they want to hear. So that's the key, is to just look at this as trial and error. All right. Okay. So the next thing is, this is easy, guys. Like, this part, contribute to your challenge group. Right now, you're not running your own challenge group, but you're in a challenge group. So if you posted your workout, if you did your daily update, you can check that off the box. Recognizing achievement, you're not really there yet. So we're going to leave that one kind of blank for now. Personal development. Every single day, I'm listening or, you know, something. So today was the National Wake Up Call. Every Monday at 11 o'clock. I never listen to them live, but they are great car riding audio. So I will always listen to the National Wake Up Call, either when I'm getting dressed, cooking dinner, in the car. Every morning, I read a chapter of my personal development book. I have podcasts I listen to. So where you're at in your business right now, if you're brand new to building any kind of a business at this point, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy is my go-to, because we all have to establish this mindset of a business owner. And you're a business owner, and it's about routine and habits and discipline of highly successful people. And so reading that book, read a chapter a day or download it on Audible, which is an audio through Amazon. But every day, check that off. I will tell you, that's like been my saving grace. And then this at the bottom is so great. So everybody knows how many friends they have on Facebook right now, and everybody knows how many followers they have on Instagram. So maybe you go in here and you say, IG, I have 214, right? And Facebook, I have, 197. And then what you can do, and I know I'm typing this, but you would write this in. And then at the end of the week, right? So on Thursday, when our business week ends, just put a slash beside that and say, okay, well, as of Thursday morning, I now have 220 Instagram followers. I grew this week. Awesome. And then number of challengers. Oh, I have 0 this week. Well, what did I do wrong? Right? Did I not invite enough? Did I not follow up enough? Let me look at my stuff. Where do I feel like maybe I missed the boat? Right? Did I get any Success Club points? 0. Did I get 2 this week? All right, we're going to celebrate the fact that I signed up a customer or a coach this week. So actually going through and keeping track of your business results, that allows you to say, I'm moving in the right direction, or I'm not going anywhere at all. So take stock of this. And then every single Thursday, because if you notice, the week runs from Thursday to Wednesday. So every Wednesday at midnight is the close of our business week. Every Thursday morning, you get paid. Every Thursday morning, your rank changes. So if you sign your first 2 coaches up, you'll become Emerald. That will show up on Thursday. All the recognition, all that stuff happens on Thursday morning. So every Thursday, email this success tracker to your coach. Tell them how your week went. Keep yourself accountable and say, every Thursday, I'm going to send this to you. And then your coach and you can have a conversation about it. Okay? So that's your plan. Every Thursday, you start a new one. You can take a picture of it. You can screenshot it, whatever works best for you. All right. So this is kind of your business roadmap for what you need to do, and everything else along the way, we're going to figure it out together. All right. The last thing I want to say, hang on, I'm going to cough. The last thing I want to say is everybody's enrolled in either the Facebook units learning, right? So the Coach University, you're in those Facebook units, or you're on Kajabi, which is our website. Those are the two places where you can consume the training. The training that we've created is complete. It has everything you need in there. It's a resource for you. So you don't have to sit there and say, I can't start my coaching business until I do everything. But when you need something, you go in and listen to that lesson. Your prep tasks, those are the first things that you want to accomplish. That's going to help you get set up. And then from there, everything you need, how to have conversations, how to talk about challenge groups, how to talk about what Shakeology is, that's your resource. So you want to go in and do those assignments. All right. Okay. Jolie, Katie should have added you to hers at this point. So send her a message. Just send her a Facebook message and she can get you added into the group. All right. So she should have you as a part of that. All right. So you aren't in the group yet. Just send her a message. Your coach will get you added in there. Okay. And then the list of recommendations for books. I've really been into personal development. I need some more suggestions. I have a list on my website that you can check out, but I would say, Tracy, personal development is like a personal decision based on what you need. So I always say, what is my challenge in front of me right now? So ask yourself that question first, because sometimes it might be like mindset, it could be confidence, it could be strategy or business strategy. So actually ask yourself about that first, right? So what do you need? Because I love Rachel Hollis and I love all of her books, right? And I've read her first one, but I have that confidence, right? I don't need somebody to tell me like you're made for more and you're worth more. Like I don't need that at that point. So that wouldn't be a good business development, but like a leadership book would be for me. So that's why I always say like, what do you need help with? And that's what you want to make sure you're reading. All right. So, and a lot of times I go to Amazon and I just type in like books on, time management or books on marketing or whatever. So if you need help, I'm happy to help you. Just send me a message and I can give you some suggestions, but I just wanted to be specific. Like if you haven't read The Miracle Morning, that's a great one on morning routine. If it's network marketing focused and you want to know how to grow a network marketing business, I love the book, Get Over Your Damn Self by Rami Newstat. It's a really good book. She talks about network marketing and mindset for that. I think that's a great book. She's high up in Roden and Fields. And Sarah Robbins wrote How to Rock Your Network Marketing Business. Great book for network marketing. And then Go Pro by Eric Worre is a little old school, but everything is you could relate all of the principles to what we do. And I know for me, how many of you have never done network marketing in your life? You're like, this is a whole new beast for me. I've never done any sort of direct marketing before. Oh, so most of you, okay, so Lisa hasn't. Okay, so I know for me, I had no idea what it was going to be like. I didn't realize what I was up against or what to expect. And so reading Eric Worre's Go Pro and reading How to Rock Your Network Marketing Business gave me that understanding so that when things happened, I got rejected or people told me no, it didn't take the wind out of my sails because I knew to expect that. I sort of thought I lived in this bubble that, everybody's going to want to do Beachbody and everybody's going to want to work out and eat healthy. And then I didn't realize that it was going to be a little more challenging, but the personal development sort of gave me that backbone there. So that's just some tips for you on that part of it too. I do love the 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. The audio is so good on that book. I listened to the Audible and then I bought the book because I loved it so much. So yes, it's really good. Really, really good. And then she has that new one that's like a therapy session. It's called Take Control of Your Life. It's only on Audible. And if you follow my social media, I talked about it forever. But that was a really good one too. So that's all the personal development. All right, it's 1:00 and I don't want to keep you guys any longer. But so wrapping it up real quick, right? Launch post. Promise me you will do it. Don't you dare wuss out on me, okay? So launch post. Fill out that business activity tracker every day, commit to it, block it out on your calendar, say, I'm going to treat this like a business. I'm going to do it. And then here's what I want. Here's your expectation. Don't set one for this week. All right. Don't set one. I want you just to do it the best you can, do what we talked about. And that's it. That's it. I just want you to trial and error and flub your way through and do your best and learn and be messy with it, and just, it's okay. Don't get frustrated. I just want you to have fun and remember, fitness first. Your fitness, your personal goals first, business second. And then next week, Megan Blinka is one of our elite coaches. She is going to be hosting the call next week. We're going to be talking about handling objections and invites and follow-ups and all that good stuff. So again, some more technical stuff. Come back with lots of questions. I also recorded this, so I will post it. So if you want to go back and reference it, you can. All right. Okay, friends, have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the groups, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.